for another fresh final review. And I'm your host, Rich Iso. You probably knew that already. Okay, so check it out. Today we're looking at the X Plus Toho Large Monster Series, Godzilla 1971. And yes, it is the RIC Boy Exclusive. Okay, let's get some facts out of the way. 25 centimeter scale. Toho Large Monster Series. The figure was released late March in Japan, late March 2011. Okay, so we're talking about, this is at the time of this recording, April 2015, 4 years ago. Boom! 4 years ago. Yeah, long time that, X Plus has been doing the 25 centimeter scale Toho Large Monster Series. Okay, so 4 years ago. Okay, so let's talk about the box real quick. Take a look at the box here. Okay, so what do you see about the box? Got some dings here, some scratches, some wrinkles, some dents, tears. Just the box. Okay, all right. So look, the box is a little fresh. Is that a big deal? No, not necessarily. If it was a 30 centimeter box, yeah, I'd probably be a little bit more upset because it's got some cool box art. But why did I get a box like this? Let me tell you why. I bought this figure in the summer of 2013 off of Yahoo Japan. For those of you who don't know, Yahoo Japan is like the Japanese version of eBay. How to use it? Ask me another time. Complicated. But I got this off Yahoo Japan, and when you buy off Yahoo Japan, because you're buying from another country, the Japanese, you don't know how to read it or whatnot. I'm somewhat, I know what I'm looking at, like, how like parrots, like, they mock you, so that's kind of what I do. I'll just go like a parrot around on Yahoo Japan, whatever. But when I was looking at the auction, I don't remember seeing the box damaged like this. Maybe it happened during shipping. I don't think it was, because this came along with another 25 centimeter figure when I got this. But, it's a crapshoot. You don't know what you're going to get really until you have it in hand. It's not like buying off of eBay here in America where you could message the seller and ask, can you send more pictures or something. I can't message the seller in Japan and ask, can you send more pictures? It doesn't work like that. It's complicated. Okay? Anyway, so that's the box. Like every other typical 25 centimeter box, you got your typical box art or whatnot. Plastic housing on the inside, and it's a window display box. Okay? So, pretty easy. Okay? Bam. And remember, this is the RIC Boy, so you got your sticker down here that signifies the RIC Boy, okay? Godzilla 71. From Godzilla Vs Hedorah, Smog Monster, Hedorah, however you want to pronounce it, okay? So, without further ado, we're going to get into this review! Alright, people, let's rock and roll. We're not going to waste time. I'm going to try to keep this short and simple, straight to the point. Okay, Godzilla figure. What else is there really to it, okay? I say this in pretty much every review. We have scales, dorsal plates, arms, legs, tail, head, whatnot. But, alright, we'll go over finer details in a minute. Let's talk about the skin. The skin on this figure, unlike many of the other X Plus figures, it looks a bit dirtier and, in the grayscale, okay? So, mind you, this is the third time the suit's being used from 1968's Destroy All Monsters, with modifications, obviously, from wear and tear. But the suit is, it looks a lot dirtier than the previous, the 68 suit. So I think we'll use that for size comparison later. But the paint job, it's much more gray. The dorsal plates look pretty good. We got some white highlights on the dorsal plates right there, as you can see. Of course, as always, the centers are filled with, the same typical grayscale paint job, for that the skin is growing up, whatnot. That looks pretty good. Toenails here, if you can see, we can see the toenails. The toenails also are almost a grayscale, so obviously from the suit built back in 1968, this is to depict, that the paint's wearing away. I mean, I gotta watch the movie again. I should always watch the movie before I do the review, so I can compare. But, the toenails are not as defined. Fingernails, those are pretty, I think they probably made to touch those up, but we'll talk about the paint job on the hands here in a minute. Now, there's one thing I do like, is the figure does look dirty. It looks like there's some dirt here on the kneecaps, and about the chest and whatnot. He does look dirty, so that looks good. The spikes and dorsal plates on the tail, they kind of just fade out over here, and basically just fades to the same typical grayscale paint job we have here, okay? The face is dirty, got some dirt along the face up here, so that looks pretty good. Let's see if we get a little focus. Is it focus, guys? Yeah, it's focused. Okay. Hold on. Right there. Look, I'll see the color change when I focus. But you can tell. Okay, some dirt up there on the face and whatnot. Looks pretty good. Pretty good. Okay. Alright, Sculpt. Sculpt is basic. Tree bark skin. Nicely detailed. Looks good. Okay. Sculpt is good. Dorsal. I like the dorsal plates. I'm a big fan of these 68 through 72 dorsal plates. Those look pretty good. Teeth look good. Nicely individually sculpted. Head looks good. Definitely represents the 71 suit. You know, again, modifications, beaten up, wear, tear. So that looks good. Sculpt is good. I really have no complaints about the sculpt. Let's touch real quick on some of the finer details here. If you look here, yeah, you can see it. You see that? That is the entries, the zipper, Velcro, whatever they used. How Haruo Nakajima, who was in the Godzilla suit, this is how he got in and out, okay? Pretty cool, isn't that? Very cool. How cool is that? Yeah. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I love that. I love that little attention to detail there. It goes right up and down. Okay? Bam. Okay? Now, joints and seams. One joint here. One joint here, or seam. Here on the tail. And around the head. Now, because it's the RIC Boy version, there are specific reasons why those seams are there. And we're going to talk about that when we get to RIC Boy. Briefly. Okay? So, what else is more defining about this figure? Let me tell you why. Well, gee, it's these orbs right here in front of your face. Now, what are they? Are they eyeballs? Are they eggs? I'm sorry. I'm going to go with eggs. I think they are Hedorah eggs. Okay? Why? Because, I'm sorry, I'm looking at these and I don't see any eyeballs. And Godzilla stuck his hands inside Hedorah, you know, not in his head. He never pulled eyeballs out. And why would there be eyeballs elsewhere in his body, in Hedorah's body? That'd be kind of weird. So, I'm calling these eggs. These are eggs right here. If you got a different opinion, leave a comment in the section. We could discuss. We will discuss what these are. But I'm going with eggs. I think they're eggs, okay? So, the eggs are painted white. They got some groovy detail. I mean, groovy, not like groovy, like 1970s groovy. But, I mean, these are like, you got some grooves here. You know, there's nothing wrong with the 70s anyways. So, but these are damaged. Looks like Godzilla damaged these eggs. Obviously, when he was pulling them out. This one's cracked a little bit. Got some gray there. Looked like damage. On the other side, it's going to be hard to see. So look at the picture right here. If you look at this, that's got some green. Maybe that's some goop from Hedorah just spilling out. But I'm going, these are definitely eggs. Okay? So those will look good. What else about this figure? Let's talk about the RIC Boy real quick. We'll go into some pictures momentarily. But the RIC Boy, these arms come off here. And the head comes off. Now, mind you, Godzilla's got a damaged eye because when Hedorah hit him in the face with his sludge, you know, it damaged and burned Godzilla's skin and face and whatnot, and it forced Godzilla's eyelid to close. You know, more of like a defense mechanism, anyways. But that's pretty cool. So it's awesome to have a figure of basically a battle-damaged 1971 Godzilla. So pretty cool, digging it. But with the RIC Boy, you would take this piece off. Take these arms off and replace them with a normal top head, you know, a crown, per se, with an open eye, so he looks, you know, fresh and on battle damage. And then you replace the hands and the arms, well, the arms actually, and he's not holding the eggs. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to go switch these out. We're going to get the hairdryer out, get some squishy soft action going, and I'm going to flip this into the RIC Boy because I've never actually done this before. So stand by. Bam. Okay, we're back. Now, we got the arms and the head replaced with a standard head, standard arms, not battle damaged, nothing. I'm going to be honest with you, this is the first time I've put these on. Yes, I've had this figure for almost 2 years, and I've never replaced the arms and the head. Why? Because I liked the eggs on the hands. So if we get a better idea, see, this is what they look like, okay? I preferred to have it like this because I thought it's different, brings a little bit, you know, different look to the X Plus line with my display. So this is the first time I'm doing this, and man, I gotta tell you, I feel like I got a brand new figure all of a sudden. I was like, I got a Godzilla 71 here, you know, undamaged, and it looks awesome. Pretty stoked. It's like, you know, brand new. It's like fresh, woo, fresh, Okay, so that's the RIC Boy. You replace the arms, replace the head, put those over there so you can see, and there you go. Okay? Pretty basic and simple. Now that I got these hands off, let's talk about the hands. Alright, so this arm here, this is how the figure comes. You know, not damaged, okay? This one is damaged. Let's get in close on that. That looks really cool. You know, that's battle damage, you know, from Godzilla's hand getting eaten up by the acidic nature of Hedorah. So that's really neat. Let's get a good look at this egg here. Okay? Pretty cool. Damaged. Groovy. Grooves. Over here you can see some of that smudge on the egg right there. Nice. And the other one here. Okay? Really neat. Really, first time I really get a good look at it. And one more time, look at Godzilla's eye. See that? All closed up. So basically, all you do is, what I did here is I heated up the back of the neck, and I heated up the arms just to get the, you know, to get it squishy soft, to make it easy to get these arms off and the new ones in. So, piece of cake, right? Of course it is. Of course it is. All right, so talked about the detail paint job. Detail's great. Like I said, I love the zipper line that's going down the back of the dorsal plates where Haruo Nakajima got in and out. Detail looks good. Paint job, sculpt, yeah, everything looks good. I really dig this figure, and I'm really happy I replaced the arms and the head now. You know, I might leave him like this for a little bit just because, you know, it feels so fresh. So, let's do a size comparison. All right, what should we do? We're definitely do the Godzilla 68, and I think we're going to use the 30cm Hedorah, so wait here. All right, size comparison. So, what we're looking at here is the 25cm Godzilla 68 standing next to the figure we're reviewing here, the 71 Godzilla. Both are in the 25cm scale. So, obvious difference is the 71 is standing a little bit higher, taller than the 68. You know, I'm going to go with, that's because the pose on the 68, he's got his knees bent a little bit, and he's kind of leaning forward, where the 71 is standing straight up. But these are essentially the same. They are the same suit. Look at the dorsal plates. You can see the, you know, the similarities there. Okay, look, you got, you know, all the same basic curvature to the dorsal plates and everything. Obviously, there's big similarities in the faces. You know, over time, you know, this gets beaten up. So this is what this looks like, getting beaten up. And it was beaten up for, what, 68 Destroyer Monsters, used again in Godzilla's Revenge in 69, and then, you know, it sat around for a year, wasn't used in 1970 until 1971 when they, you know, Godzilla vs. Hedorah came out, okay? So there's a size comparison with the 68. Okay, let's pull up 30cm Hedorah. Okay, so what we see here is the 30cm Hedorah standing next to the 25cm Godzilla 71. So what's the problem here? Hedorah is in the 30cm scale, right? Now, from my understanding, a lot of people say, or have said, that these are in scale. I'm actually, this is the first time, again, I'm looking at this together, these two, and I don't think these are in scale at all. They are not. I'm sorry. Yeah, the 30cm Hedorah, he's a big figure. He's in the 30cm scale. Mind you, I don't know how many times I'm going to say that. But he's just, the mass of this figure, it's just way too big. I got to watch the movie again, but I just think this is way too big to say these two are in scale. I'm going to, no, definitely not. I mean, Hedorah was a little taller than Godzilla, but the mass of this figure compared to Godzilla, it's just ridiculous. I mean, if Hedorah was literally this size compared to Godzilla, the movie would have ended differently, I absolutely think. But that's just my opinion. So I don't think these are in scale. They're not. You know, so that's why we need maybe a 25cm scale final stage Hedorah. But anyway, and as you can see, he's not even in frame, okay? And I'm not going to fix the camera just because this just shows you the massive size of the 30cm figure. And if you haven't got this one, you better get one soon because, you know, the Diamond did the reissue and that's it. They're done. You're not getting any more of these. There was the original Japanese, the RIC Boy light-up that came out last year, 2014, and then Diamond reissued this. So, if you want one, time's ticking, people. Get it. Got it. Bam! Okay, size comparison. Done! So we're going to take it back to the table for final thoughts. Boom! Alright, final thoughts. So, check it out. I'm really digging this figure more. It just so happens every time I do a review, you know, I really get into the figure that I'm reviewing. But being that I switched out the arms and the head, it's like I said earlier, it's a brand new figure to me. It's pretty cool. So, it's definitely certified fresh. Bam! I really don't have any complaints for it. As far as the seams go, because you got to change the arms and the head out, yeah, they're a little ugly. But, you know, it's expected. And they're, you know, when you're looking at the figure from the front, you can't really see the seams here. You're not going to see the seam in the back. So, big deal. That doesn't bother me, okay? So, with the awesome detail, with the damaged hands on the other arms that I have not replaced at the moment, and the damaged eye, the zipper, Velcro, you know, seam in the back for the Nakajima to get in and out. Very cool. The paint job does have a lot of depth to it because it does look dirty and grimy and you know, in the grayscale that it's in. So, this figure is definitely fresh. Certified fresh! Out of 10 out of 10, on a scale of a 10, 10. 9? 10? I don't care. You know, the heck with this whole scale thing. The figure's awesome. I dig it. If you don't have one, the availability of this figure is very hard to find. If you can find one, get it. You know, be prepared to spend, you know, a couple bucks. Don't spend too stupid. But it's hard to find. The RIC Boy, I would say, is probably just even harder to get. So I dig this. Okay? So make sure you guys check me out on Instagram and Twitter because you never know what freshness is going to be popping up there. You know, I mean, it's another way to stay in touch. So Twitter and Instagram at Mr. Fresh Vinyl. Okay? At Mr. Fresh Vinyl. At Mr. Fresh Vinyl. And make sure you check out the website, freshvinylhq.com. Thank you for watching, guys. Thank you for sticking here and listening to me babble about Fresh Vinyl. And that's all I got to say about that. Bam! Bye, Vinyl! Fresh Vinyl! Oh, you hear my voice squeak? Oh, what's going on here?